want?
Justice!
When do we want it?
Now!
What do we want?
Justice!
When do we want it?
Now!
No justice.
No peace!
No justice.
No peace!
No justice.
No peace!
If there ain't gonna be no justice,
There ain't gonna be no peace!
if there ain't gonna be no justice,
There ain't gonna be no peace!
no justice,
No peace!
no racist.
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 No peace!
Stop police brutality. Stop police brutality.
Stop police brutality!
Stop police brutality.
Stop police brutality!
Stop police brutality.
Stop police brutality!
I want to thank everyone for coming out today. What an overwhelming response from the community. This is wonderful to see so many of you here today. That's right. That's why we have so many people here today, because people are tired, sick and tired of police brutality. People are tired, sick and tired of racial profiling. And we want it to end, and we want it to end, and we want it to end, and we want it to end. We have come here today, this press conference being called by the People's Organization for Progress, but not alone. We're here today with a united front for justice, a united front against police brutality, a united front against racial profiling, and a united front demanding police reform in the state of New Jersey. There are many organizations here today. In fact, there are more organizations here today than I could have possibly anticipated. For those who don't know, let me introduce myself. My name is Lawrence Ham. I'm the chairman of the People's Organization for Progress. And I'm so glad to be here with you today. And I want to thank Brother James Carey and Brother Sam Bishop for really helping us to get here today on this issue. All of us saw the video and what happened to Z'Kye. It was outrageous what happened to him.
Yes, it was.
Millions of people have seen that video and have shared it because they were outraged. And we want police brutality to stop here in Bridgewater, New Jersey. We want police brutality to stop here in the state of New Jersey. And we want police brutality to stop in the United States of America. People, in the aftermath of the murder of George Floyd, you would have thought that the police would have finally gotten the message that it was time for a change. But obviously, they haven't gotten the message, but we are here to bring the message to them today that we want change and we want it now. We're here today to demand that those officers that racially profiled Z'Kye and brutalized him, they must be fired. Those officers that racially brutalized, that racially profiled and brutalized Z'Kye must be fired. We are here today to demand justice.
Justice!
First and foremost, the officers must be fired.
Now!
Secondly, the mayor and the city council or town council should issue an immediate apology to the family of Z'Kye and to the black community of Bridgewater. Thirdly, we want a thorough investigation into the Bridgewater Police Department. We want the hiring policies investigated. We want the personnel policies investigated. We want the supervisory policies investigated. We want the rules and regulations investigated. We want racism and racial bias rooted out of the Bridgewater Township Police Department. But we don't want to stop there. There's a problem in New Jersey. It's the problem of police brutality and racial profiling. And the antidote to police brutality and racial profiling is community control of the police. We demand a police review board with subpoena power here in Bridgewater Township and in every town and city in the state of New Jersey. The people must control the police. More than that, the same thing we want, the same thing that we are demanding for Bridgewater, we are telling the Attorney General of New Jersey, we want that for every city and town in the state of New Jersey. Because police brutality is not just a Bridgewater problem, it's a problem throughout the state of New Jersey. But what is the greatest antidote to police brutality? It's the organized and mobilized people. Because if we weren't out here today like this, in the spirit of unity, there would be people saying police brutality doesn't exist. We want the people organized and mobilized, and we are calling for ongoing demonstrations until we get justice for ZKye and all victims of police brutality. We're calling for a major demonstration against police brutality and racial injustice on April 4th, the anniversary of the assassination of Dr. Martin Luther King. We want people all over this state to mobilize in the spirit of unity, in the spirit of change, in numbers not seen before. We want to mobilize. We want to let people know that in the aftermath of George Floyd, we still are here demanding justice. We want justice now. So now I'm going to stop and bring forward the family members of ZKye. Bless. We want to bring forward Sister Andre Sims. She is the aunt of ZKye. Give her a big hand, y'all.
Hello. My name is Henri. I am ZKye's aunt. I just wanted to start off by thanking everyone for being here. Over the past week, we've gotten an overwhelming level of support and love, both near and far. And we just really appreciate everything, truly. Today, I just wanted to speak a little bit about ZKye, because while a lot of people have seen the video, no one really knows who ZKye is and what type of child that he is. Kai is the type of child that's full of love and kindness. I know all of this going on is truly embarrassing and overwhelming for him. He's the type of child that would beg me to go to Chipotle. Then when I tell him, okay, you gotta order it yourself, he's like, nah, I'll just have a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. He's so quiet and shy. Being pushed into the limelight like this, especially on these circumstances, are not ideal for him. I've been blessed to watch him grow the past 14 years, to see him develop into not even a young man yet, but to see what he's willing to do even as a child, to be a reflection of all the things that we've taught him to be. I actually call him my little twin because he's literally just like me. last Saturday, he stood up to a bully.
That's right. That's right.
As small as he is and as young as he is, he was defending someone even smaller and younger than him, a 7th grader, against high schoolers. He did exactly what we all taught him to do.
That's right.
Right.
That's
And
right.
he was met with not one, but 2 knees in his back,
Yeah.
while the aggressor towered over him. Isn't he an example of how we teach our children to act?
Yes, he is. Yes.
We've all gone through programs of anti-bullying to stand up no matter what.
That's right.
And the type of child that he is, he's willing to do that even when it made him uncomfortable.
No.
Even in this situation of embarrassment, he still stood up.
That's right.
And he continues to stand up. There's so much that goes on in this country. So many deaths. I'm not going to wait for my nephew to die to stand up for him.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
Because he did what was right. He did what we all should be doing
And we are
on
proud
a
of
daily
him.
basis.
Yes.
Yes.
I'm proud of him for it.
So are we.
Yes.
How many more boys, girls, men and women have to be subjected to this treatment? How many more people need to die for change to come apart? I stand for ZKye, and I am ZKye.
That's right. That's
We are ZKye. 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 Next, I want to bring forward the president of the New Brunswick area branch of the NAACP, Bruce Martin. Bruce, give him a hand. Bruce Martin.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning. Power to the people.
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 I'm Bruce Martin. I'm the president of the New Brunswick area branch of the NAACP. If you don't mind, I'm going to pull this off me. I'm also the first vice president for New Jersey State Conference at the NAACP. I'm here speaking on behalf of Richard Smith, the state conference president, and NAACP branches. We have we're represented here, and I don't think they spoke about Harrison branch. Harrison Dillard is here from the Warren County branch, and we're here to support the family. Earlier this week, we received a phone call, several calls as a matter of fact, videos of this horrible, horrible incident that took place right down the road. All right, I immediately contacted, and please forgive me if I butcher his name, Thomas Chiricella, the Somerset County First Assistant Prosecutor, concerning this incident, and he told me that his office is investigating this. After that, I called Richard Smith, our conference president, who immediately called Attorney General Brooke and Governor Murphy, and I'm very happy to say that he spoke in a language that we all understand.
Okay.
On Monday, February 14th, Richard Smith released his following statement on behalf of the NAACP. And I quote, "The NAACP, New Jersey State Conference, was disappointed today to see still another police action irrefutably showing disparate treatment of African Americans in our police institutions. Despite years of talk about bias training and accountability, the video of what happened today in Bridgewater cannot be denied. When Bridgewater police found 2 youth fighting, the immediate reaction was to regretfully throw the black child to the ground. He placed around the back, in the neck, around the neck area, in the back. He's handcuffed behind the back, and at the same time, the young child who we find having been of Hispanic origin, but looked white, so in essence, the white child was just left alone. As at the same time, the white youth, who was at least equally at fault for the fight as his black counterpart, was carefully eased onto a couch and treated like a victim. This is something African Americans in New Jersey experience too often, and the NAACP, New Jersey State Conference, calls for these officers to be immediately removed from the police force pending an investigation. The time for Governor and Attorney General to put a stop to this type of behavior by the police is now. Unquote. These surely are not the final actions of the NAACP will take regarding this incident. We're going to trudge on until these officers are removed and these laws are changed. We offer our full support to the family. We offer our full support to the families supported with the same kind of actions. We will continue to fight until this behavior ceases. When we fight, we win. When we fight, we win. I thank you.
Thank you, Bruce. President, New Brunswick Area Branch. What do we want?
Justice!
When do we want it?
Now!
What do we want?
Justice!
When do we want it?
Now!
We are kind.
We are kind!
We are kind.
We are kind!
We are kind.
We are kind!
Next, I want to call forward Charles Hall, President, Local 108, Retail Workers. Give him a big hand, Charlie Hall. What you got, Charlie? All right.
Go, Judge.
Yeah. Brothers and sisters, this is it's a bad occasion to have to be here, but to see all of us join together and come out in support of ZKye, that's a wonderful thing. When I saw the video, I had to watch it 3 or 4 times because I was in disbelief. All right, this keeps happening again, again, and again. It has to stop.
Now.
It has to stop now, you're right. And it's not just Bridgewater, like Larry said, it's the state of New Jersey. It's the United States. There is racism that's alive and well. And we can't turn a blind eye to it, right? We gotta be vigilant. We gotta come out. We gotta get the press out. We gotta highlight it's happening because some would say it's not true. There's no racism here in New Jersey. All is good. That's a lie. That's a lie. And to see, after all we've been through the last couple of years with police brutality, again and again and again, people dying. Young men, women dying at the hands of irresponsible policing. Now, let's just think about this. These officers, how could they exist in a police force and nobody know about them? How could that be? It couldn't be a secret. They showed you who they were. Right? But there's just one turn in the story. There were some white people there. This is not to say white people are bad, but the white people filmed it, exposed it, and said it was wrong. All right, so I have to put that part out there. I am from labor. I'm a labor leader in the state of New Jersey, hold several different offices in the state of New Jersey, but I'm here today as a parent, as a citizen, as a resident of the state of New Jersey, and we have to stop it here, and we have to stop it now. Thank you, brothers and sisters.
Thank you, Charlie. What do we want?
Justice!
No justice?
No peace!
No racist?
Police!
No justice?
No peace!
No racist?
Police!
I don't want him standing out here too long in the snowstorm, but our brother, who is 90 years old, Rev Herbert Daughtry, came all the way over here to show support for ZKye. He's been in this struggle a decade. He heard about Kai, he called me, he said, I'm coming. I don't want him to be out here in this cold too long. But welcome Rev Herbert Daughtry, House of the Lord Church.
Thank you very much. You know, some years ago, when I chaired the National Black United Front, our watchwords were, which would be very appropriate now, we are fired up. Won't take no more. We are fired up. Won't take no more. Some of the old struggles are here. The last time, and I must commend Larry Ham, one of the truly outstanding organizers, a caring organizer who has been on this trip so many years. So anywhere he is and that I hear about it, I want to be next to him. And the last time that we were here, we marched across New Jersey. It was about police accountability. And we remember that 30 years ago, a young lad named Philip Purnell was shot in the back in Teaneck, New Jersey. Thank God we're not here at this particular moment to bemoan and to feel angry about another young black brother killed by the police. But we're here to still demonstrate racism is very much alive in the world today. ZKye and what happened to him, in a sense, sends a clear, unmistakable message in that these police officers acted viscerally and they acted without thinking, which is an indication of a racism. Automatic, thank you. Subconscious, thank you. Psychological, that's right. Reflexive. In other words, it is the way the masses of Caucasian, I believe, the system that we have operate. Automatically. That you go toward those who are Euro-ethnics when there is a clash between the two. And so we're going to continue the struggle.
That's right.
By the way, I'm 91. And Larry, listen, I'm still growing. Just in case. But I'm here at 91. I've been 70 years in this struggle. And I ain't no waste time. So I'm here to encourage all of you. Particularly, I'm so glad to see the young people here. And we're here to say, and one of the positives is ZKye, who represents the long struggle of our people. I was so proud to see him coming to the defense. I was so proud to see him stand up. And I thought that in this Black History Month, I thought of the struggles of old, many of whom I struggled with, Martin King, Malcolm X, and all of those. I almost said Fred Douglass, but I ain't that old. And then be proud, thank God for you, the relatives out here, but we should be lift him up also. As we talk about the racism of the police, let's lift up the ZKye as representative of the best of our young people, and the best of our people. God bless you all. Y'all keep praying for me, and I'm going to keep on, like old man River, I'm going to keep on rolling.
No justice.
No peace.
No justice.
No peace.
No justice.
No peace.
Now look, we got to get organized. Now, we don't have a attendance sheet going around, but if you want to be in this effort, this ongoing effort, this is not a one and done.
That's right.
This is the first of a series until we get victory. Until we get those police off the force who did this. So this is what I want people to do. If you want to be in this movement, text your email and your phone number to 973-801-0001.
Give it again.
Give it again, 973-801-0001. If you want to help us build this movement, we got to build this movement. We got a lot of people out here, but we need more people than this. One more time, 973-801-0001. Text us your phone number and your email so that we can contact you for the next event. Now, one of the organizations that is, I will repeat it later. One of the organizations that's working closely with the family is the National Action Network. The national chairman is Reverend Al Sharpton, and we have today the South Jersey chapter president of the National Action Network here, Steve Young. Where's Steve at? Come on, give him a big hand, Steve Young. No justice?
No peace.
No justice?
No peace.
No justice?
No peace.
And if we don't have no justice, there will not be no peace. I'm just your brother. Brother Steve Young. I'm the South Jersey chapter president of the National Action Network. That's Reverend Al Sharpton. And we bring greetings from Reverend Sharpton to everyone in the National Action Network. Now, we want to say, everybody's seen what happened. Now you know what systemic racism look like. If anybody know what racism look like, it's us as black people. Now when we see it, we must do something about it and hold people accountable. But when we hold people accountable, they shouldn't get mad at that because we voted. But after you vote, it's about accountability. How do you do that? Well, sometimes we take it to the street. And you just heard from our good dear brother, Dr. Daughtry. And 90-something years old, and still the movement's still going on. Still the same issues. So if he can do it at 91, what's wrong with y'all at 14? What's wrong with y'all at 20? What's wrong with y'all at 30, 35, 40? Come on, stand up. You don't stand for something, you're going to fall for anything. And we awoke now. Look at this unity out here. Every organization throughout the country is out here for ZKye. I am ZKye. I am ZKye. I am ZKye. And you are ZKye. And we're going to make sure we make an example and have those police officers terminated immediately. We're going to hold the governor and the attorney general, which haven't been doing a good job for black folks. We're going to hold them example. We're going to hold them accountable for what they're supposed to do. When they're talking about this reform, they talked about the executive orders. They talk about the cameras. They talk about all these things that's in motion. But yet, we still get beat down like we're not, like we're some kind of animals. That has to stop, everybody. You young black people, stay strong. Stay in the street. They don't listen to us until we're in the street. And this is the only way this movement is going to change. We're going to demonstrate. We're going to negotiate. And we're going to legislate. And if none of that works, like the brother said earlier, this is a system and their constitution do not work for us. It don't take you 400-something years to know that. So if it don't work, somebody has to amend it. In order to amend it, You have another one? They're trying to keep me quiet. But we're fired up. We ain't going nowhere. And those that's on the front line must be at the table when it comes to decision making. Yes. Right. And those of you that are not on the front line and go through the back door, you know who you are. Right. We got to start letting you know. You got to take us with you or get out the way. That's right. That's what time it is now. So I want to say to the family, we're going to continue to support you. Yes. And this country and this systemic racism must stop. Must stop right now. Because one thing, after you've done all we can do, you demonstrate, you negotiate, you legislate, and then you don't get no justice. That's right. Well, then why should you have peace? That's right. So I say, no justice, no peace. No justice, no peace. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Where's he at?
What do we want?
Justice.
When do we want it?
Now.
What do we want?
Justice.
When do we want it?
Now.
We have so many people out here today, and one of the things that I see, of course, overwhelmingly, I see the black community here. That's right. But I also see white brothers and sisters here. I also see Latino brothers and sisters here. I see the rainbow of humanity is here. And we all united to demand justice for ZKye. We all united for an end to police brutality. Right now, I want to bring one of our Latino sisters forward. And I'm glad she came today because she brought the other sound sister with her. Sister Cookie Rivera. Give her a big hand, y'all.
In English first. I represent today the Latino Action Network of New Jersey. The New Jersey Prison Justice Watch.
That's right.
The Integrated Justice Alliance Facebook social media site where you can also stay completely in touch with these events. And before I say anything, I ask us to please make some noise for Larry Ham and the People's Organization for Progress.
Thank you, Senator. We appreciate it.
The advocates are doing their job. I've been at this for over 30 years. We've changed laws. Come on. We've made police community relations. Right. We've put policies in place. The advocates are doing their job. It takes the whole village.
That's right. That's right.
Please, it takes
the whole village.
It takes
the whole village.
It takes
the whole village.
We have laws now. That's right. We have policies now. I'm going to say that again, and I'm going to ask you to say this. When I say something, you say, and still the need. We have laws now.
And still the need.
We have policies now.
We're still the need.
We have directives now.
We're still the need.
We have instructions on the use of deadly force for police officers.
We're still the need.
We have instructions on use of force for police officers.
We're still the need.
We have instructions for hate crime.
We're still the need.
What's the problem? We have hundreds of millions of dollars for law enforcement.
We're still the need.
All we hear is training, training, training.
We're still the need.
When is it that if I'm a jerk, I have to listen to this policy?
We're still the need.
Where are the consequences for the actions of all this training? You cannot train this away.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
Come on.
That's right.
If I'm a jerk, your paper's not going to stop that.
That's right.
We have a police director in Elizabeth, New Jersey with a class action lawsuit right now.
Come on.
Because he calls his community and he calls his officers N-words and C-words, and they're fighting tooth and nail because he doesn't want to be he doesn't want to be owning up to the policies that local police departments own up to.
Still the need.
Still the need.
Still the need.
Body-worn cameras.
Still the need.
You want to see the footage before you write your report.
Still the need.
We need to see the footage too.
Still the need. Come on. Already seen it. Yes, that part. Right.
It takes
a whole village.
It takes
a whole village.
Hundreds of millions of dollars. In those policies there aren't, or they say there are consequences. Why this? If that would have been flipped around, and that young white man would be on the floor, and Kai would be sitting in that chair because they let him go there like the victim, and he got up because he didn't listen to them. What is the first order of business in a police incident? Secure.
That's right.
Secure. Hold everybody up that's in the problem and secure. Why is he floating around, jumping up and down on the couch back there?
Because that's where they stop.
It takes
a whole village.
God bless you.
Amen.
Okay, bueno. Z'Kye Rivera, yo soy la encargada del Comité de Reformada de Justicia Criminal de la Red de Acción Latina en New Jersey. Yo tengo décadas trabajando en esta abogacía de reformada de justicia criminal. Tenemos leyes hechas, tenemos directivas hechas, tenemos pólizas hechas y todavía sigue. ¿Cuál es el problema? Toma el pueblo entero para resolver estos problemas. Si tenemos tantas pólizas y tantos memos que explica cómo usted va a bregar con un ser humano en la calle, ¿dónde están las consecuencias del problema? ¿Dónde está la consecuencia? Si todo está hecho, los advocates están haciendo su trabajo, los protestas están haciendo su trabajo, el pueblo está llegando para representar nuestras familias. ¿Cuál es el problema? Millones y millones y millones de fondos, cientos de millones de fondos para el entrenamiento. ¿Y dónde están en esa póliza y todos esos fondos? ¿Dónde están los fondos para la comunidad en esto? En tantos fondos y tantos entrenamientos, ¿dónde están las consecuencias de lo que está en póliza ahora? Where is it? ¿Dónde está?
¿Dónde está?
El pueblo entero. I'm going to say el pueblo, you're going to say enterito. El pueblo.
Enterito.
El pueblo.
Enterito.
El pueblo.
Enterito.
Dios lo bendiga.
Give a big hand. Give a big hand, Quickly Rivera. What do we want?
Justice.
When do we want it?
Now.
What do we want?
Justice.
We are Kai.
We are God.
We are Kai.
We are God.
We are Kai.
We are God.
Now listen, a lot of people want to speak. Shh, 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 I can't hear myself. A lot of people want to speak. I am committed to letting everybody, not everybody, but every organization to have one speaker. But to do that, we got to keep it short. All right? We can't be out here, you know. You're going to get your chance for the long speech, trust me. When we come down here and sit in overnight, you can give a long speech that time. It's coming, right?
It's coming, that's right.
So listen, I'm going to give each organization a chance to have a speaker. I'm willing to stay here as long as that takes. But you got to be patient. Like people running up here just got here, right? We've been here since 10 o'clock. We run up here. They just got here. I want to speak. I will let each church have a speaker. I'll let each organization have a speaker. But all I ask is that you keep it short. And, you know, we'll do it as long as y'all can take this cold. What do we want?
Justice.
We are Kai.
We are God.
We are kind.
We are kind.
Justice for 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 kind.
I'm going to call forward now Brother Zaid Muhammad from the Newark Coalition for Accountable Policing. Give him a big hand, Zaid Muhammad. Mic check, can y'all hear me?
Yes.
Sir, you know how we go. It's been a lot of years. A lot of years. All power to the people, everybody. All power to the people, everybody. All power to the people.
All power to the people.
In the few minutes that I have with you, I want to talk to Phil. Governor Phil Murphy.
That's right.
And his new guy. What's his name? Platkin? Matthew. Because see, we do not want the state of New Jersey to talk out two sides of its mouth.
That's right.
See, last year wasn't just the loss of George Floyd, was not just a missed opportunity for George Floyd. Last year was the centennial anniversary of racial profiling in this country. Born, bred, and bled here in the state of New Jersey. There was no official reckoning of a racial kind here in this state, coming from this man who was put in office by the skin of his teeth by black and brown voters both times. Huh? Phil, we're not gonna let you talk out two sides of your mouth on this one. Phil, you had in your hands the Civilian Complaint Review Board, but your punky Speaker of the Assembly, what's his name, Coughlin? Craig Coughlin, we're gonna pay him a visit.
That's right.
Steve Sweeney got his behind beat because he wouldn't put it up through the Senate. And we don't want, we're talking about police leaving one police force and going to another because they keep their records secret. We had a police transparency bill that you punked out on too. And we got some more bills too. We had a bill that bans and criminalizes chokeholds. That's how you want to order Joe Floyd. That's how you want to order him. But where's those bills? None of these bills. And we ain't dealing with Trumpites.
That's right.
We ain't dealing with Mitch McConnell.
Right.
We're talking to you, Phil.
That's right.
Yeah, buddy. We're talking to you. This is your Democratic Assembly. This is your Democratic Senate. And God damn it, it's our people that put your behinds in office, and we are tired of being disrespected, neglected, and made invisibilized for our vote. At a time when our vote is under siege. This April 4th demonstration was supposed to be about voting rights. But we gotta bring this up again and again and again. But if we gotta do that, we gotta do that. And let me tell all these organizations here, we love you, we're glad you're here, but you need to know and be a part of, well, we have a statewide coalition against police brutality. Black, brown, and white up and down the state. And all these organizations, if you're not in that coalition and you're serious about this question, you need to call that number so he can give it to me and I can put you on the list. One last thing. Why did I call out Phil? Not just because of those bills. Because just yesterday, as I'm getting worried about what happened to this young man, we also had to deal with Phil's Attorney General trying to roll out something called facial recognition technology.
That's right.
Right? Old heads. 1984, that's Big Brother's eye in the sky on you and my black ass. That's right. I'm gonna make it plain, right? And it don't work. They know it don't work. The darker you are, the worse it works, and they lock people up behind mistaken identity in the name of their technology. And the new guy, Mr. Platkin, he wants to take comments. See, they come at you soft when they're Democrats. He wants to take comments on how you feel about it. Then what's going to happen on March 11th? You going to roll it in anyway? No, we say hell no.
That's right.
Amnesty International says it's a violation of some of everybody's human rights from New York to New Delhi. We with that.
Black Lives Matter, Patterson said, you want to put money on that, you need to be putting money into our community so we ain't got to live with all this drama, trauma, pain, and poverty that's been systematically put on us for centuries. We unite with that. So we need everybody to tell Phil and the new guy, Mr. Placken, take that facial recognition and put it in the toilet the way Boston did, the way Portland did, the way San Francisco did. New Jersey, we don't want that. We don't want what we want. We want justice. We want justice. We want justice. Justice for Z'Kye. Did I get his name right? Z'Kye. I'm sorry, baby, brother. And you were beautiful. The most important story here that I end here, right? The most place to end. Right? Yeah, no, listen. One of the things that happens with these kind of situations is that we never get the story of the people who have been victimized. We never get their humanity.
That's right.
We never get our humanity.
Thank you, Andre.
This daughter here gave you that young man's humanity.
Yes.
And then you heard the elder, their young man at 14 years young.
Yes.
Stopping a bullet represents the best of who our people are. And we're not going to let that be disrespected. All power to the people. All power to the people. All power to the people.
Brother Z'Kye, give him a big hand. Give him a big hand. I'm going to try and get as many women's voices up here as we do men. So next we're going to call, now listen, we don't have an attendance sheet. Turn up the sound a little bit, Cookie. Turn it up a little bit. We don't have attendance sheets, but we want to get everybody's contact information, right? So call 973-8, no, don't call, text. Text to 973-801-0001. 973-801-0001. Text us your email address and your phone number so we can let you know when the next action is going to be. Now, there was a lady that got here when I got here this morning. She was from the Somerset County Black Democratic Committee. Is she still here? Give her a hand. We need to get the local voices in here, right? Give her a hand.
Hi, I'm Joy Anderson Manning. I am a member of the Somerset County Black Democratic Club. So I'm from out here.
That's right.
I am so proud of what Larry Ham does, not just here, but he does it all the time for everybody.
Yes, he does.
We are so proud of him and Pop and all those that came out here. But on behalf of the people that live out here, we know this is nothing new.
Nope.
And those of us who have black sons, we know that they're endangered species. And every day we pray that when they leave, that they're able to get back here. So it doesn't make any difference. Is it today, yesterday? Those kids were being kids. But the police department, that's a different thing. But we have something special. Because we have our county commissioner, who is Chanel Robinson, that we helped get elected, and we know that she is on top of this situation. But we also have something very unique, is that we have different liaisons in the Bridgewater Police Department who were very bold to take this initiative that didn't use them. They have the resources and they didn't use them. So Larry gets a chance. He's gonna call on Damien. Because Damien is the one that works for the Bridgewater Police, so that this doesn't happen. When people take things into their own hands, things happen. When they don't follow the protocol. The kids were being kids, and that's why they had the police to de-escalate the situation. So with that, we want you all to watch what's going on. We want you to watch it redistricting, because we were able to get Chanel in and others in. But with all this redistricting, y'all watch it, because it can happen to your community.
Right, it's happening in Piscataway. I'm telling you
Right.
now.
Justice for Kai. Justice for Kai. Justice for Kai.
Justice for Kai.
Justice for Kai. No justice. No justice. No justice. If there ain't gonna be no justice. If there ain't gonna be no justice. No justice. No racists. All out April 4th. We gotta get this whole community out on April 4th. All right, April 4th. April 4th in Newark, New Jersey. April 4th. All right, let's get some more local voices up here. Brother Tormel Pittman from what's your organization? New Me Health Center. All power to the people.
Hold on, I know it's cold out here, but we can do better than that. All power to the people. Listen, I'm excited because, you know, I speak for the voiceless. And when I say I speak for the voiceless, I speak for those activists that are not going to be on Channel 7, Channel 4, Channel 2. I speak for those activists that when all these cameras leave, they still going to be here doing the dirty work. I speak for those activists that they want to keep out the room when it's time to sit down at the table because we're unapologetic. We're unapologetic. So shout out to my sister Shadisha. Shout out to Damien. Shout out to all the brothers, Steve Young. Shout out to Ben. Shout out to all the brothers who do the dirty work when the cameras are gone.
Right.
The most upsetting thing that I seen in that video watching it, I don't want to give a shout out to my sister Gina Bowser also. The most upsetting thing I seen in that video was when those officers ran over and they didn't see a child. Let's pay attention to that. Because I could talk to you in the capacity of an activist, a freedom fighter. I could talk to you on behalf of POP, NAACP, but I'm talking to you on behalf of a father who has a 14-year-old. A father who has a 14-year-old. And we wonder why when they run on our children, up on our children, because listen, these officers are in our high schools and middle schools also. So this is happening on a daily basis in our middle schools. Why don't they see a child when they run up on our children?
That's right.
Because I asked you a question, any of you guys know who Dave Grossman is? Oh, he knows. I'm gonna repeat that again. Do anybody know who Dave Grossman is? If you don't do research on Dave Grossman, we'll be back at this space every other month. Dave Grossman is the paramilitary trooper that all of these police departments hire for training. Hey, y'all want me here, man? That's why they don't want Tormel Pittman in the room. Let me repeat that. Dave Grossman is the paramilitary trooper that all of these police departments hire for training. Because Dave Grossman could teach the police officer to take the sensitivity out of a kill. He has a book called On Killing.
Killology.
And Killology, that's the second book. So when these police officers kill you, they show no remorse because of his training. This isn't just happening. There's a reason why this is happening.
Exactly.
And of course I stand with the family of Kai. But guess what? When there's no cameras around, you have people like Andrew, where's he at? Buckmeyer. He's a 35-year-old man who got assaulted when he was the same age as Kai. But guess what the difference is? There was no cameras around. So we should be just as outraged for him as we are for Kai today. Because there are countless others who don't got cameras in front of them when they're getting assaulted. And I want to mention another. What's Tanaya at? Tanaya, I'm sorry. Because see, when bad things happen to our community, there's always a bright light also that comes out of it. This is a young lady who's planning a demonstration for the last day of Black History Month. She's also a Bridgewater resident.
All right.
So this inspired her. She's putting together her own demonstration. What date is it? February 28th.
Where?
What time? 3 o'clock, leaving from Bridgewater High School.
Say it again.
February 28th, 3 o'clock, Bridgewater High School. See, they call me a young activist. I'm 46. If I'm young, then somebody holding on to the torch too long. These are the young activists. These are the people I pick my phone up for, and these are the people that I support. So all power to the people. 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 All power to the people.
Go ahead, announce your demonstration.
Yeah.
Go ahead. All right, repeat the time. Go ahead.
Go ahead, you got this.
All right, come on.
You got it. You got it.
Just say your name.
My name is Z'Kye Husain. I'm 16 years old, and I'm holding the protest February 28th, 3 o'clock, right here after school.
Thank you. Do you want people from the community to come, or is it just for students? It's for everybody. So everybody come out February 28th, 3 o'clock p.m. at Bridgewater High School. Let me have one of those too. Last day. This is the best way to celebrate Black History Month. We're gonna get some more Central Jersey voices up here. I want to call Atalia Armstrong from Trenton, New Jersey. Give her a big hand. Activist from Trenton. Trenton in the house. Came all the way to Bridgewater. Come on. Before we lose much more of the crowd. Shh.
We are tired.
Yes.
Right.
Aren't you tired?
Yes.
This could have been my son. He's 13, he'll be 14 in a couple weeks.
Wow.
This could have been my son. This could have been your son. A threat to justice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere.
That's right.
Police do not need more training. They need therapy to figure out why they are inherently biased. Thank God this young man didn't resist the police, because we all know where that could have led. I'm tired of us having to lower our humanity. I'm tired of us having to become docile human beings so that we aren't murdered or mistreated unjustly by police. The video was clear. Both young men were throwing blows. Both of them shared responsibility. So why was one, without hesitation, thrown to the ground with a knee in his back? Why in 2022 we still have to protest to be treated, viewed, seen as human beings? Why is the harm to Black people immediate and then questions are asked later? We've dressed up in suits. We said yes ma'am and no sir. We show our hands before they're even asked to be shown. Why are we still viewed as threats? We have to change this system and change it now.
Right.
I stand with Z'Kye and his family. Like Cookie said, the advocates are doing their job. Demand the politicians do theirs. No justice, no peace.
All right, give her a big hand, Natalia Armstrong. Give her a big hand. Is Bill Davis in the house? Bill Davis. Bill Davis.
Getting ready to fix breakfast for my husband, and he came downstairs running saying Larry's doing a demonstration. First, we saw this on the phone. I don't know how those, can't figure those words. The phone, we saw it on. And, you know, we were outraged. And, you know, knew it was going to be some kind of protest somewhere, didn't know who was going to call it or what. And lo and behold, the one who's always calling it.
That's right.
Always putting people together.
Yes. Yes.
System demonstrator, Larry Ham.
Yes.
So, knowing what the situation is and being a great-great-grandmother, and you know, and having a host of children and a host of family friends, I've been looking at this kind of situation year after year after year, and it continues. But one thing about me, and what is bred in me, is the fight. We got to understand that whenever we get justice, it's because we fight for it. And we have to be consistent. So I've come here, me and my husband, Z'Kye, to be a part of this movement, in order to be a part of the number, in order to let these people know this isn't going down like you want it to go down. You think it won't be swept up under the rug? No, indeed. I'm not staying long. I just want to make a stand here. And I'm making this stand for my children, my grandchildren, and all our family members. Thank you. Long-Live Revolution. And I'm Pam, the warrior woman.
Justice for Z'Kye. Justice for Z'Kye. Justice for Z'Kye.
I got to get some of the religious leaders up here. Anybody here from